Hello once again, everybody. It's TJ again. And before we get into everything, I just want to thank everybody who watched my video the other day. If anybody shared it or passed the message along, we got a lot more people watching it than I thought. I kind of thought it was going to be like 15 watches and like 7 of them were going to be from me. So thanks a lot for that. But now that we're doing this, let's get into it. Tough loss the other night. That one hurts, especially against a Minnesota team coming into our barn. For the last home game of the year. So that one was tough. What we're going to do tonight, guys, we're going to go over that last game. All right, we're going to kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown on what I thought was going on, how I thought we played, some individual performances. After that, we're going to do a little bit of talk about goaltending. No bad things, all good here. And then we're going to kind of get back into the that playoff picture again and see what scenarios are going on right now, because there's quite a bit of things that can happen tonight. Tonight's another big night. Think of me tonight. I'm posting this a little late, kind of as like your pregame or almost even your postgame, while giving you pregame scenarios. So here we go. Let's talk about that game. Minnesota's a good team, aren't they, guys? They really are. They're fast. That is one of the biggest things that I saw, is that they are a quick team. So where St. Louis is a pretty quick team as well, I think Minnesota kind of beats them in that. I don't think the Hawks played bad. I think we came out a little slow, and we were a little tentative, playing on our heels quite a bit. In that first period, we only had 8 shots. They had 6. So, nothing major there. But it was not a bad start for the Hawks. Not a good one, though. For the Hawks, they like to get out there, pepper that goalie in that first period, get the guys going. That's really how we get moving. So that's one of the biggest things I saw, is that they're a very fast team, and they're really good. Another thing about Minnesota, they're really good on the road, and I was not aware of this, how well they were performing on the road until watching the game. They are 18-1-1 on the road with Devin Dubnyk. I will repeat that. 18-1-1. And they're on an 11-game winning streak on the road. That is awesome. I believe what I read earlier was that it is equivalent to Detroit in 05-06, their road wins. We all know Detroit had like a 30 home game win streak a couple years ago, and that was crazy as well. But that's very impressive. Anytime you can do something with a Detroit team from the 90s, especially mid to late 90s, you're doing something right. So there's that. Also, from that game, Joakim Nordstrom played. He's only played 38 games this year now, and I don't think he did that bad. He didn't really do anything. He wasn't a big factor in the game, to say the least. But he wasn't really bad. Let's see what he ended up here with there, guys. Just saw him. 2 shots, even. 2 shots, 2 hits, and even. That's nothing crazy, but nothing bad. I was kind of surprised to see him in the lineup this time of the year. Another player who I thought played well the other night was Teuvo. Teuvo's I talked about it the other day. Teuvo's a good player, and he's a great playmaker. And they have him playing on that second or third line. I believe. Who do I have wrote down who he was playing with? No, I didn't. I wrote down a different line. So there we had Kruger, Vermette, and Nordstrom going. We had Shaw, Sharp, and Bickle, and then Teuvo was going in there as well. But I thought he played good. Another player that played good, Corey Crawford, played outstanding. The one goal was the first goal, I would say, after a fantastic glove save that he made. That first glove save that he had, where the puck kind of dropped and he was on his back doing the old NHL 15 style, that was really good. And then, we go and we lose the face-off. Rosewall doesn't pick up his guy in front of the net, or he picks up a guy in front of the net but doesn't take the shooter. And there you go. 1-0. So that was that goal. Second goal, Rundblad going for a change, kind of at the wrong time. It was just not a really good play by the entire. Host was on the ice for that one. I know he was -2. but it just wasn't really a good play. You know, as he realizes what's happening, he comes back to the play, but it just didn't really work out there. And hey, guys, Bickle scored. Bickle's got his 14th of the year now. That was fantastic to watch. Always love when Bickle scores. I told you guys the other day, when he gets that quick shot off, like he did for his goal, I mean, he's got a rocket. He fired that puck. I mean, he kind of stole it from Sharpie there, I'll admit. Sharpie was kind of boxing out that defender, but this, like, right when he got that puck on his stick, it was off his stick, and when he does that, I mean, Dubnyk he didn't even react. He kind of was down in his butterfly and didn't get his glove up. That was all. I mean, that was it. So it'd be nice to see more of that. One of the biggest things that I noticed when we came down to it was at the end of the game, we always, it seems like, always, whether we're winning, whether the Hawks are losing, whether they are, you know, in a tie game, it seems like the last 5 minutes of the game, you know, exception of a few games this year, they like to just, that's when they just bring it. It seems like you watch and you're like, guys, how can you not do this for 60 minutes? But, you know, you guys are in there banging away for the last 5 minutes. So it's, you know, sometimes it frustrates you, you know, you're watching it and you're thinking, God, we played a good game, but now look at what we're doing. We're all over them. But, and especially in the third period where the Hawks, frankly, got dominated. Obviously, they had their 2 goals in the third period, but they also had 15 shots to the Hawks 10. You know, they shot the puck, and we didn't. I mean, that's all there is to that one. Let's see, a couple other things that I wrote down here. I was a little surprised at the end of the game as well that, I don't know if you guys saw, Crawford gets pulled. Hawks are in Minnesota's zone, and you look on the point, and there's Roosevelt and Rundblad. Now, Roosevelt ended up saving the goal on the empty net, but, I mean, why, Quenneville, why, Coach Q, at the end of the game, is Roosevelt and Rundblad your go-to D? Now, I don't, like I was telling you guys the other day, I like Rundblad. I think he's a good defenseman. I dislike Roosevelt quite a bit. But there's no way that when you have Keith, Seabrook, Oduya, Jalmerson playing, that you need to have your bottom 2 defensemen on the ice in the last minute of a game with a pulled goalie. It's offside. It just shouldn't happen. So I was kind of frustrated in that. So that was, I mean, it just wasn't very good. It's a tough outcome, I thought, like I was mentioned earlier. That one hurts. That was a, you know, that would get us, especially when you had Nashville losing, you got St. Louis losing that day. St. Louis getting shut out, need to tell you. Mr. Andrej Pavlak playing very well right now for Winnipeg. But, you know, there was an opportunity for the Hawks to move up in the standings. And we kind of collapsed. I mean, you would think that at this point, at that time it was 3 games left, but with 3 games left in the season, the Hawks wouldn't really play around with that, and you thought they would capitalize. But like I said, Minnesota's a good team. They're going to be a team to watch out for. So moving on, you know, let's not focus too much on the past. Let's look into the future here. One thing I want to talk about real quick. And I know Potsy want to talk about it. Guys, I'm sorry. You guys will meet Potsy soon, I promise. It's just not really working out with our schedules right now. But next episode, he will definitely be on here. That's a, you guys got a promise from me on that one. So one of the things Potsy wanted to bring up, and I'm going to do it myself, is let's talk Jennings Trophy. Crawford. You know, who else do we have? Crawford, we got Darling, you got Ronta in there. I think they only do the 2, so it would be Crawford and Darling. For the most part. But that's going to be, they have a legitimate shot. The only other team that I really thought who had 2 goalies that could surpass would be Montreal. Mainly because Carey Price has done so well on his own, and he leads the league in every goalie category. That Dustin Tokarski, their backup, I mean, he could start 10 games and, you know, they win the Jennings Trophy because of that. So that would be my only 2 pairing that I think could beat them. Lundqvist and Talbot is actually another good one as well. But I believe that Crawford and Darling have a shot. I really do. They're a solid team. I mean, let's not forget, guys, the Hawks are they're a good team this year. Over 100 points. So anytime you do that, you're typically going to make the playoffs. So that's just quick little intro. We're gonna hit on that more I think this weekend or Friday is what it's gonna be. So just wanted to give you guys a little heads up on that one. One of the other things I wanted to talk about: Hawks have not been scoring a lot lately. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's just not. If you've noticed it, it's just not happening a lot lately, and it can be a little bit frustrating at times. It seems like over the last 10 games, it's been, one goal. We had 4 goals against Buffalo, 3 against Vancouver. But, before that, there's a lot of 1 and 0 and 3 and 1, and it's just 2, and there's a lot. We need more offensive production. And I know we're missing Kane, and that's a lot of offensive production that we're missing right there. But, this is hockey. Players are going to get hurt. Crosby's missed seasons before. Rick Nash didn't show up to play last season, and now he's playing this season. So New York still made it to the finals. You got to have other players stepping up and scoring goals. A player who's done that this year for the Hawks, I know, is Shaw. Shaw definitely was huge. It's been huge all year this year. 14 goals from him. Was not expecting that at all. Bickle's got 14. He should have more. Honestly, Sharpie with 15, gotta have more. We need more second and third wave scoring, and we're just not getting that right now. But we will. I know we will when playoff time comes and hits, because for some reason the Hawks find a way to do that every year, and I'm hoping that they do it again this year. Scoring in the playoffs is usually not a problem for us unless we're playing the LA Kings, and or another really good team like St. Louis, which we're going to have to do at one point. But that's just one thing. And also I want to go into our special teams a little bit. Special teams, power play is really the big thing. Our penalty kill we've been pretty rock star with all year. I think we're one of the top 3 teams in the league. Top 7 teams in the league. But we've been really good on the penalty kill, but it's our power play. And we've known this, guys. Anybody who's been following the Hawks the last few years, we know that it's just not our strongest suit, and it's amazing to think because of the offensive firepower we have. But we need to start capitalizing, especially because we're only getting like a couple chances a game, and in the playoffs we're not going to get very many chances at all. So when you do get them, you really need to capitalize. And I don't know whether it needs to be a personnel change within the units. I don't mind what they have right now. I am not the biggest fan of Shaw out there, but I don't know really anybody else you're going to throw in there to do the same job, because everybody knows Bickle could just fold on us, but he's not going to. Let's see here. What else did we write down here? With the power play. Yeah, I just think our defensive aspect of it, where we're moving the puck pretty well. Between the points is what I mean, guys, not playing defense on it. But, we're moving the puck pretty well within the points to the high guy when we're in that umbrella, but it just seems like we're trying to make that backdoor pass one too many times. We have opportunities to shoot and score. Well, at least shoot and get that rebound and dig for it, and we either looking to go high short side, which usually ends up with the puck around the net, and hopefully Keith gets there because he's got wheels all day, or we're gonna look for that kind of backdoor or across the box pass for a one-timer, and a lot of times it doesn't work, and that's frustrating to see. I think the Hawks need to get back to a more simple power play. Get the puck on the sidewall, move it back and forth a couple of times, and when you're walking to the middle, get a shot. You see an open lane, get a shot on net, and you got your forwards crashing net. And it will, eventually it will produce. That's one of the biggest things that you got to do is if you're not getting shots to the net, especially with traffic in front, you're not going to score. So I think the Hawks need to, quit being just a little less fancy and just a little bit more shot-oriented on that. And that's going to be, I feel like if they do that, and I think that's what they want to do, then they'll definitely improve those power play points. But that's one of the big things about that power play. And so let's talk about the playoffs here, guys. It's coming down to it. 2 games left. 2 games left for the Hawks and the Preds and the Blues and everybody else except Anaheim's got 1 game left. Couple big things can happen tonight, guys. LA could officially be out in the West. The Kings might not make the playoffs, and they're playing Calgary. If Calgary wins, it is impossible for LA to make the playoffs. They're 3 points behind that Winnipeg for that second wild card spot, and it's not looking good for them. They have to win their next 2 games, and they have to hope that Winnipeg doesn't even win. I mean, if Winnipeg wins 1, they're done. Well, I guess not. That's not true. They need to win, both as well. But LA's in big trouble here, and the fact that they're playing Calgary, and Calgary is an already established playoff team and can knock them out, that's going to be a big deal, especially because Calgary's in their division too, and they're only up 2 points. So I guess tonight's the biggest night of LA's season, and they're not used to doing this. I mean, they squeaked in the first year they won the Cup at an 8th place spot, but this is not going to be that year. I can promise you guys that. Also, St. Louis can clinch the Central tonight, playing us, guys. That was why that game against Minnesota was so important, because we jumped up 2 more spots. But I still think that it's going to be better that we didn't do that, because I think we're going to be happy playing Nashville. I think we just want to get that 1 jump. So, but a win tonight is definitely crucial. 1, we stop St. Louis from clinching, always good. And 2, we give ourselves an opportunity to get home ice, and that's really all we want. Don't want to be playing on the road in the playoffs. Never do, never have. So that's gonna be huge tonight. Let's see what other games going on tonight. I had this up already, except now all right, hold on here, guys. Sorry, stay with me. We're going to go schedule. So there's a few games tonight, and then as everybody knows, pretty much everybody plays on Saturday. Everybody plays tonight, too, as well. Wow. Let's see. Ottawa, New York, that's going to be a big game. Detroit, Montreal is a big game, especially coming out of the East Coast. So we play St. Louis, and Minnesota plays Nashville. And, guys, we could end up in a wild card spot if Minnesota wins their next 2 games. Talked about it the other day, and it's the row that is that first tiebreaker. Now, I was not very clear on what that was, so I'll clear it up now. The ROW is regulation and overtime wins. So it's your wins minus shootouts. And so Hawks have, now of course I leave standings. I'm just, again, all over the place. But the Hawks are less than Minnesota. So Minnesota wins out and the Hawks win out, or don't win out, they lose out. Minnesota would surpass the Hawks jumping into playoffs. So it's crazy about how everything's going right now. So we want a wild card. Just checking that out. But yeah, guys, tonight is a huge game. We're playing against the St. Louis Blues team, who is, like we said, first in the Central. I do not believe that they have their. Let's check. Yep, still no Steen, still no Tarasenko, which is big for the Hawks. But that last time didn't really make too much of a difference. Richards, Timonen are out. The Hawks obviously Kane's out for the Hawks tonight. But this is going to be another close, low-scoring game, as it has been. But with the Blues all year and in the playoffs last year. So, but back to that row, guys. The Hawks have 39 to Minnesota's 41. So there'll be trouble. But all they need to do is get 1 point in one of these games, and they're good. So hopefully we can do that. But yeah, tonight it's gonna be another just banger. I mean, it's a rivalry game. If this was Wednesday, it'd definitely be on rivalry night, but it's gonna be on NBC Sports. But it's just this is the time of the year where you gotta really dig deep. We really need our guys to dig deep and bang away at it. And I think they can. The Blues are playing good. They're not playing great. They're just coming off a shutout from Winnipeg. And I think this is a good opportunity for the Hawks to jump on them. Beating them before the playoffs that last win, that last little shove in their face before the playoffs is going to be nice. You know, it's going to be one of those. It's going to be a big confidence boost for the Hawks, especially if they go into a series against St. Louis. One, we beat you guys last year. Two, you know, we just beat you at the end of the regular season. We know we can beat you this year, and we proved that we could do it in a 7-game series last year. So that's a huge thing, I believe, for the Hawks to get that win tonight. Other than that, you know, it's going to all come down to the scenarios. That's why, you know, it's better to be on the winning end and not have to worry about, you know, who else is losing. And, you know, hopefully we stay in this position because did Minnesota lose and did Nashville still lose? You just want, if you win all your games from here on out, you win today and you win Saturday, then, I mean, there's nothing else you could do. You did everything you can. And you're going to either be on that third spot or you're going to be in that second spot in the Central. That's all there is. I mean, if you win, you're either going to be in the third spot or the second spot. You're probably not going to make that first spot. It's going to be tough. But who knows? Excuse me. One other thing, guys, we are even in our series against the Blues tonight. So that would be pretty huge for the Hawks to get that series win for the year. Also, reading just kind of seeing this as I'm looking at the at NHL.com here. The stat of the day is the Hawks have a 6-0 scoring advantage in the third period against the Blues this season. So hopefully they can keep that up, extend that number, maybe push that to 7 or 8 because it's going to take a couple goals. And we're gonna need Crawford to play pretty well here. He's got the start tonight. It looks like, so that's gonna be a big game for Crawford. Give him that confidence going into the playoffs as well that he can beat them. So, all right, guys. This is pretty. I mean, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. It's really just gonna be one of those shorter videos. You know, we're gonna try and keep it under the 30-minute mark. Just because, nobody wants to really sit and listen to me talk 30 minutes as of now. One other thing, though, it's a lot brighter in here, isn't it? You know, it's weird what happens when you open a blind and turn on some lights. It's nice. I can see my face instead of having, you know, this side just shadowed. But hey, thanks again, guys. Make sure that you comment and share if you guys got any questions, any topics that you guys want to hear for Friday's show. We will have Potsy on. Potsy will be here on Friday. And, you know, go Hawks tonight. Let's get that win. You know, anytime you can beat St. Louis is fantastic, especially because they're up there with Detroit, most hated teams. It's like Detroit way above everybody. Oh, we'll get them on the screen there. And then, like, St. Louis is next, and then, like, everybody's way down below. But Detroit definitely has that big advantage because they suck. And they're a bunch of jerks. That's it.